SG, thank you so much for joining us on Afro Worldview. It's always a pleasure having you. So just to get down to the business of the day. Yesterday, we heard in KZN, Ubab King Goodwill Zwelithini had issued a warning against the ANC-led government, saying that you should not provoke him on the issue of land, or he'll be forced to actually go to war. Maybe your reactions around that statement.
Well, let me first say, on Monday, the top six of the ANC, we met with Contralesa, which is the body representing traditional leadership in South Africa. And we had a very cordial meeting with Contralesa, and Contralesa indicated that they are going to engage other political progressive forces on this issue of the land to clarify their stance as traditional leaders in South Africa. And our relationship as the ANC with the King Zwelithini, it's a good relationship where we really have been engaging in the King, like we have actually engaged other kings in the Eastern Cape, and we have engaged kings in Limpopo, and Queens will be continue with our pilgrimage program. We're supposed to go to Northwest and the Free State, and we'll go back to the Eastern Cape and meet the ones we have not actually met. So our program, the pilgrimage program, is still continuing. In relation to what King Zwelithini said yesterday, I think the King is within his right to have raised issues, because the King was responding to a panel, the report of the panel, the parliamentary panel, which was established, led by Comrade Kgalema Motlanthe. So the King was responding to that, which is not the ANC position, nor the position of the South African Parliament. It's a position of a panel, because remember, that report has not yet even been adopted by Parliament itself. And it is clearly not the position of the African National Congress. Our position is very clear. Expropriate land without compensation, with a big full stop. As to what we do, we then consulted South Africans, stakeholders at our land summit, and we have made it very clear if the constitution is an obstacle to what we want to achieve in terms of transferring land to its rightful owners without compensation, that's what we'll do. If it's necessary to amend the constitution, we said we'll do so. And you can hear the voices in the country. That's what the people are actually starting to say. And we are the ANC carrying government, and our position is that we will continue engaging traditional leadership. We will engage with the King and many others throughout South Africa. And the King, we respect him. We respect everybody as the ANC. We are the seventh, and we are a very humble organization. And our position is very clear. And in terms of ANC documents and resolutions, strategy and tactics, we do recognize the institution of traditional leadership. There's no question mark about it. And we have agreed on Monday with Contralesa that we will jointly address a press conference together. So that press conference will still be on. We will be together with Contralesa addressing South Africans, and our position is not ambiguous. It's very clear on the land issue.
Still staying on the issue of Ntate Kgalema Motlanthe, Ubab Zwelithini was still vocal on the matter, saying that no single ANC member called Ntate Kgalema Motlanthe to order when he referred to traditional leaders as village tin pot dictators. And this, of course, he said post the land summit.
No, but I was out in the public there to explain that the position of Comrade Kgalema Motlanthe is not the position of the ANC. I've made it very clear immediately after the Land Summit. And I think every South African, and we have said that position, whatever, is not the ANC position. And maybe I should repeat it. Comrade Kgalema Motlanthe is one of the leaders of the ANC. We understand that. And when we met with traditional leadership, we said we will apologize if needs be, and there is nothing wrong if we apologize and we think that maybe it has hurt people, but it was never an ANC position. And our apologies if people think that that was the ANC position. Yes.
Okay, moving on to the next topic. Your political council is underway. Can you just take us through maybe what's going on, the outcomes of the meeting, and etc. The political council.
On the 8th and 9th, we will be having our political council of the ANC, SACP, COSATU, and SANCO. These are our alliance partners. We have been working together. We had several secretariat meetings. We as secretaries and he as deputy secretaries, we have been meeting in preparation for this alliance council.
And would you say that, I mean, since President Ramaphosa actually took over, the alliance is much more stronger? I mean, they have been waiting for this meeting for about a year or so, and now it's actually much more anticipated. It's actually going to happen right now.
No, our relationship has been good, bumpy, but that's we are different political structures. We are independent, but we have been working together, and we have agreed that immediately after the 54th National Conference, we said let's continue to strengthen the alliance. So it's continuity. You know, in the ANC, we are not depending on individuals. We depend on the collective. And we see ourselves continuing from the leadership which was there before us, because you can't then say, I was not part of that leadership. All of us were part of the National Executive Committee, majority of us were part of the then ANC. So you can't single out an individual and say during the term of this individual, if you blame anybody, blame the whole collective. So we are strengthening and consolidating the alliance, and we had very fruitful discussions, and we are looking forward to a very strong relationship, not only at national level. We are appealing to our structures to be engaging and have harmonious and dynamic relationship at all levels of our structures. So in fact, we are very hopeful that we are going to have a wonderful Alliance Political Council.
Okay, staying on the same topic, there were media allegations, or rather reports, saying that some COSATU leaders were and business, business was actually working against getting the former President Jacob Zuma dethroned. Maybe the ANC's reaction on that. I know COSATU had refuted those allegations. But as the ANC, do you know anything about that?
No, I don't know anything about that, and I think those are just, I haven't even heard it. No, COSATU, SACP, whoever have never said anything about President Jacob Zuma.
Okay, and then just moving on to matters of your provincial conferences, your regional conferences. I mean, just how is everything going along, and are you not worried about, you know, these factional court challenges, if I'll call them, that are just somewhat marring these conferences as well? I know you were very vocal in Limpopo against these court challenges, saying that all ANC members should exhaust internal processes and exhaust all of them internally, and not just try avoid going to the courts.
Well, the 54th National Conference of the ANC has said this is the way of resolving political problems. You can't want the cause to resolve our problems or our challenges as a political party, for that matter, a liberation movement. The African National Congress is still a liberation movement. And you can't want to settle your issues in courts. You can't outsource decision-making of the ANC to the courts. And this is what our members clearly understand. It is taking time for some to understand it, but in the main, once we as leadership act in a proper way, objectively, without being factional and all that, the branches start respecting all of us. And I think the national leadership of the ANC has actually shown that indeed it's an objective type of leadership, and we have been able to resolve a lot of queries and challenges in as far as provincial and regional conferences. It's only through engagement, dynamic engagement, political education, patient leadership, that we are able to be where we are today. I think a lot of our members are starting to realize indeed the ANC gives them space and time to raise their issues, and therefore they understand. And it's the nature of ANC conferences. They are very dynamic. People want to be leaders, but leaders are elected ultimately. It's not about I want to be a leader. Leaders are elected by branches of the ANC. And I'm happy in Limpopo, in Gauteng, in all our provinces now, things are shaping up and the comrades are coming together and the ANC is starting to gel. Those challenges, this is the only dynamic organization which allows democracy to happen. Go to other parties and you'll realize that people are just told, you can't do this, keep quiet. And here we are very dynamic, and I'm sure that's why we are able to have as many people as possible as members of the ANC.
But will you probably strengthen, your internal processes to actually curb this new phenomenon, as you had put it before, of people taking the ANC to court?
Comrade Jesse Duarte, as the chairperson of the National Dispute Resolution Committee, has been all over the country with NEC members who are part of the team, doing a great job. NEC members have been all over in various provinces, those who are deployees, and we have congratulated them for handling organizational matters in a very proper and mature way. And we said, let's move forward. And that's why people start coming, and we say, have you met your branch? Have you met your region? Are you not happy? And once they come to Comrade Jesse, they say, thank you very much, and we accept whatever. That's the ANC.